Om Shanti. Finish the seed of impurity and become completely clean, pure. Newness of God's knowledge. The newness of God's knowledge is purity. You say with spiritual intoxication that even when cotton wool lives with fire, it cannot catch fire. You even say in your lectures that without purity, you cannot become yogi and Gyani souls. So, now put this challenge into practice. Om Shanti. Truth and cleanliness. Both these words have a very deep and subtle meaning. Many say, I do not experience yoga or the experience of all relationships with Baba. I do not experience Baba's power within myself. I feel weak. The reason for all of this is that there is not yet a true and heartfelt love for Baba. The line of connection with Baba is not clear, or I have not accurately known and recognized Baba as he truly is. If I have truly recognized Baba as he is and what he is, then there will naturally be that deep love for him, and I will also experience his power within myself. Therefore, first I need to check my connection with Baba. Is there any body consciousness within me? Am I being influenced by the company of others? Does doubt ever arise within me because of any situation or circumstance? In this way, I need to check myself in many subtle aspects and keep my connection with Baba clear, true, and strong. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vyakti Parivar. Today's day 27. Finish the seed of impurity and become completely pure, clean. Today's topic, newness of God's knowledge. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi ji.
Om Shanti. Purity, love for Baba, faith in God in our life creates a spiritual attraction. When we look at Dadiji, was so simple, Dadi, but she looks so royal. But also leaders, important saints and sages, everyone had attraction towards Dadi. Dadi's personality, generally personalities are of the high status or high positions, but Dadi's attraction was her love for Baba. Also very simple nature, very natural. Nothing was like she was kind of posing it. Everything was very natural. Purity, simplicity, honesty. And that is not only in Dadi, but now also Baba's children who have these qualities also have some attraction. And the attraction is such which creates pure feelings, what we call bhavana. And bhavana is something in our heart creates the praise for that person, respect for that person. So looking at all of us, anyone creates pure feelings and bhavana. And they start singing the praise of the person. And Baba says that confluence age, you are praiseworthy, and in golden age you will be, in copper age you will be worship worthy. But to become praiseworthy is at confluence age. So now we already celebrated Dadi's day, which was day of brotherhood, universal brotherhood. So as soon as we look at the picture of Dadi, one feels so happy, very light. Some very beautiful feelings emerge even now. So that kind of pure personality, Baba chose to be Nimit for all of us. These are very good qualities. Daddy said, I always spoke truth. Never did anything with the money. Transparent. Everything came to Yagya. She didn't keep it anything personal. Very responsible with joy. Never expressed any burden. It's too much to do or how to do it, no question. Because there are two qualities that he had. One was her own team of Tadis together. Even if we are following Srimat, but she will talk to everyone about whether it's management of Yagya. Even I know that we were there and Gyan Sarovar at the time, and Chandramani Dadi left body in, I think, Mysore or Bangalore. So they brought the body to Shantivan, and but then as soon as she left body, I think it was 9:30, 10 night time, Dadi called few of us to just decide who will be the next person after Chandramani Dadi. And that is where then Dadi Gulzar's name came. So she will just not say, oh, I had touching, Baba told me, no. Even internally she will know, but she will consult seniors of that time. Always took the opinion, even publicly. She will have idea, speak about idea and then ask, do you all accept it? Because if they accept, they will do it. Because it's not one person, it's the idea which is accepted by a whole Brahmin family. So she has a beautiful way to include everything, everyone. It's not just Shrimad, but of course its final decision is based on Shrimad. So I think we could learn a lot from her leadership. So today Baba is talking about newness of godly knowledge, newness uh, of God's knowledge. As I said, everyone should, when you read Morley or you're giving course to someone, or they knew before, was not complete, was not eternally truthful. So listening to knowledge, the contrast between what we believed before or heard before than now is really big. We will listen so many things, but it's not we were able to imbibe like purity. But as soon as we came in Gyan, we heard knowledge and we start life of purity. So the truth, knowledge, truthful, has the power to make you that, like purity, spiritual love, spiritual relationships, all have become very natural and practical in our family, spiritual family. It's because knowledge is truthful. So it's not only new, but also is eternal truth. So Baba is saying that the newness of God's knowledge is purity. They show deities, they show everyone that everyone had some vices. If not first one, then second one or third one. You say with spiritual intoxication that even when cotton and fire live together and it cannot catch fire. Baba said, you say even in your lectures, without purity, you cannot become yogi and jnani souls. So now you put the challenge into practice. So Baba said the newness of this knowledge is purity. Because Baba says if intellect is not pure, you cannot absorb this knowledge. You cannot have connection with Baba. That means you cannot be yogi. So to be jnani and yogi, first important is purity. And you, Baba said, you are the proof of that. Because of purity, you are able to imbibe knowledge and have direct connection with God, who is also purifier. So it's very, very interesting. A lot of homework can be done. Reading Murli, writing the points, definitely will help us to be clear about newness of the knowledge, newness of God's knowledge. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good
Hello,
evening.
Om Shanti.
Hello,
Om
Didi.
Shanti.
Seems as though you're having some problems with your voice
Temporary.
temporarily, but I'm wondering if you would prefer to have some yoga rather than talk.
No, let's talk little bit.
Okay. So maybe if you start coughing, then we could just stop and we could just do yoga. There are a few things I wanted to ask you, and I'll start with purity. And we were given 19 points on yesterday, Dadiji's day. And each point actually talked about her purity in different ways. But one of the points was that she was able to be pure because she never kept the defects of others in her heart. So she didn't have Parchintan, she didn't have Parmat, she didn't have Pardarshan. And so I wanted to ask you, what's the connection between looking at others, thinking of others, even if you're not thinking of their defects, you're thinking of their specialties, because now people don't connect as much as they should to Baba and Baba's Murli, but they connect more to human beings who are, who they like. And so, isn't that also looking at the specialties of others and being and connecting to the specialties of others? Isn't that also Parmat, Parchintan, Pardarshan? And isn't that also impurity?
But it's the first part is that complete purity is where you don't have in your mind defects of anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then also, if constantly you keep thinking and talking about other souls in reference of whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whether specialties or way of the way they explain and their personality or any reason. So that means it's not just one Baba, no? Complete purity really means one Baba. Dadi Prakashmani also looked at all of us, looked at our specialities, had a lot of love for us, right? So that way, but then it's not that her mind or her intellect was occupied or, got kind of thinking more about, she sits and think about, even she loved you so much. She said, oh, Gayatri is like this. She won't sit and that means her yoga is with you, not with Baba. So that's really a very subtle aspect which some souls don't understand. What is wrong? Anything you say, what's wrong, right? but they don't realize that it's somewhere affecting our stage of purity. So it's a very good point to bring out that purity is where you just talk about one, you think about one, and remember one, because that remembrance of one is the final purity, isn't it? So I think it's a good, valid point you are bringing out. And yes, we definitely, I would say that there should be just description of one, praise of one, that's total purity. Of course, not looking at weaknesses, but not the greatness also.
Looking at the greatness that separates you from Baba would then become an
Yeah.
impurity. This morning, Baba was also talking a lot about getting caught in the name and form of others. What is the impurity there of being caught in the name and form? And this is not about grossness. This is not about, the physical attachments or attachments through relationships. But is there a subtle secret in being caught in the name and form that traps us into impurity?
Because if that soul, of course, may not be in body consciousness, but keeps coming in your mind. Whenever you think of knowledge, then you say, so and so said, right? But what Baba says, if that remains in the mind, like Dadis, you never heard from their mouth saying, even I remember once I went to Dadi Gulzar's room and uh, Nilu was saying that when you give class, she always listens because she likes the way you explain. But it's not she keep thinking about me, keep talking about me. That means you appreciate and you learn